Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another Panther Comms podcast, Week 7, Man in the Box.
Get your comms up.
Panther Comms podcast with Timmy V.O.
H-Town came, Panthers conquered. That's what's up. And what a better time. Moose, Pep, the crowd was actually in it that showed up, and shout out to all the fans that actually showed up to the game. That was that was special, man. If you've been following the Panthers since '95, like I have, I know technically it was before that '94, but since they were playing games in Death Valley, if you've been following Panthers that long, man, you that was special, man. To see Moose and Pep, man, get up on the hall, man. That was huge, and Big West, and it's shout out to the Panthers, Carolina Panthers content team, man. They put out some quality stuff. If you're looking for another voice, I got you. All right, let's get down to the box, y'all. So let's look at the overall yards, total yards, real quick. Houston had 229. We had 224. Before I continue, guys, if you haven't looked at the box score, I know a lot of folks are waiting for all 22. Everybody likes to see that visual, and Bryce Young was just stellar. And the key, and what I wanted to bring up here real quick, winning tight games with a young quarterback like that really says something, especially the way the Houston Texans were getting to him. He got a lot of pressure, a lot of hits, sacks. The kid was getting beat up. Still won a tight game, y'all. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick. Passing yards. Neither one of us had 200 yards passing. Bryce had 180. Okay. Rushing yards, of course, the Texans absolutely shut us down. Normally in a game like this, especially when time of possession is really tight as well, the team that normally has more rushing yards normally wins the game. They had us beat by 56 yards. We didn't even have 50 yards total rushing. That's also a testament how many times we were running for a loss too. But yeah, the Texans on the yard game on the ground, that is. Overall yards per play, 3.7 to 4.1. Houston obviously hit us on that one. We have 4 more first downs than they did. Our third down efficiency was pretty good, 5 of 14. Theirs was 5 of 16. We were 50% on fourth down. We ran 61 total plays. They ran 56. Again, it was a really tight game. That's why attention to detail was critical. And when you have a young quarterback that can get it done like that, and hats off to our defense too, especially in terms of the pass game and Luvu, and oh my God. Anyway, so sacks allowed. We allowed 6 sacks. I think a majority of those came in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. The Texans only had 2 sacks the entire game. And you know what? Quite frankly, and shout out to Brian, man. The man was basically playing with one arm. I think he got that sack in the first quarter, was it, or second quarter? Definitely in the first half. If you noticed him, man, he got up. He wasn't even trying to give nobody no dap with that left arm, bro. he was like, "Don't touch me." He was basically playing with one arm, and then he could have had 2 more sacks in that game if he had both his hands available, man. But shout out to man. Brian has had heart the entire season, even though they're not trying to pay this man what he's worth. That's another conversation. So they had 6 punts, we have 4 penalties. Now, see, this is where we won the game. We had 3 penalties the entire game for a total of 20 yards. They had 10 for 70, and of course, I think 2 or 3 of those were during the final play of the game. But still. 3 penalties throughout the entire game, folks. That's where we won the game. That and Bryce Young balling the hell out. Fumbles lost, 0. Interceptions, 0. Time of possession, we had it for 30-29. They had it for 29-31. Tight game. Young quarterback. Needs to drive down the field to win the game. What does he do? Shout out to Chuba Hubbard, by the way. But Bryce Young, folks, A lot of people were saying this on Twitter. That game was probably the most comfortable we've seen him. That's by far the most comfortable we've seen that man. And you saw what he did. Escapability, running the ball, putting balls on a dime. Like Hurst mentioned during the preseason, man. I mean, his ability to plant his feet, get set, and flip that thing, and it's so freaking accurate. Why your ball gotta be so accurate, son? I mean, it is mind-boggling how calm and collected he is under pressure. And he can dissect the defense quickly, and it's amazing, man. It really is. And let me bring this up real quick too, and I'll let you guys go. I mean, there's nothing else to say, but if you have access to all 22, go watch it. I'm gonna watch the entire game again, quite frankly. I mean, all 22 gives you coaching angles and things of that nature, but yeah, I just it's something about the energy and the flow, right? How players are communicating, packages transitioning in and out, and what's going on the sideline and stuff like that. I try to pick that out because that tells me a thing about people. Communication is critical in the game of football. Body language is critical in the game of football, right? There's subtle nuances. If you've been around it, you know what I'm talking about. That tells me a little more than all 22. All 22 is X's and O's, which is also very important, mind you. But I want to know the people, because that's what motivates you at the end of the day. You have your inner motivation, then you have your external motivation. You see that on the sideline. But yeah, we won the game in the second half. That's what I wanted to bring up before I wrap this up. 9 points to 6. We didn't allow them to control the points game in the second half, and even though Bryce didn't get a touchdown at the end of the game, the things he did, especially that drive at the end of the first half, people have been talking about that like crazy. When he hit Trimble and finally hit Trimble in the end zone, he keeps his head downfield, and he has a great pocket presence. His intuition is amazing for a rookie. This kid's a rookie. Technically, he's being he's getting play calls from a different coach, right? I mean, but the communication between him and Coach Brown, man, it's obvious. They have a very good feel for each other, and with Bryce's capabilities, yes, Icky needs to get his SHIT together. That there is no doubt in my mind about that, Jack. I'm wondering if he's worried more about the guy on his right because he didn't practice with this kid forever, right? Him and Christensen, played the entire season last year together and had a damn good grade if you look at their PFF from last year overall. They did pretty well considering. And then granted, we were trying to bruise people, so that helped too. But Icky moving to left guard instead of maintaining left tackle, I'm not quite sure that's a transition people want to go with, because tackle and guard are completely different mindsets, completely different techniques in a way, and how you feel out the rush and all this other stuff. So I'm not quite sure that's the transition we want. I think Icky needs. So let me put it to you this way. The coaching staff last season, when Wilkes took over and before Wilkes took over, were able to hide his insufficiencies by running the football effectively. We haven't been able to run the football effectively because the guy they brought in is sucking. Miles, if you listen to this, my man, I know you're extremely frustrated. I don't think Carolina is necessarily a nurturing place for you, right? They need somebody who's more of a robot downhill kind of guy. And now that Chuba can catch the football consistently, mind you, if you watched yesterday's game, I watched the game before that too, actually. Miles just came into a situation where the coaching staff didn't know their players, because clearly Chuba's ready. I don't even know why how do you not see that? They should have said they should have, would have, could have. I know. We could have gotten another tight end and let Ian go, mind you. But we need special teamers. But Miles, man, you just landing in a bad situation, bro. It's just like my man from the Raiders that everybody's talking about him coming to Carolina. It just sometimes good players land in bad situations and the scheme doesn't work for them, and then you throw an injury on top of that, and you don't have preseason to get your feet underneath you and get your rhythm going. You kind of run into a wall. You're stuck a little bit. So I hope Miles shows more flash throughout the rest of the season. I mean, hell, we still got 9 games, so it might be a situation where you come out there and show your stuff, bro. But that injury really took away a lot of things, man. Any running back could tell you got to get your reps so you can get comfortable with the speed of the O-line and the speed of the defense, and how quickly those holes come and go, and that plant and go that takes reps, man. You run with reckless abandonment, as they say. Yeah, it's just a bad situation for Miles. But Chuba's that dude. Chuba's that dude. Get RB1, folks, all day long. I will leave Icky at left and find him a really good pro left guard to put in there. No knock on our current left guard. No knock on him. He had an okay grade considering he wasn't necessarily the guy they wanted at left guard in the first place. But yeah, shout out to Corbett being back. Hopefully he can help out Bose. Bose had a tough game yesterday. So Sunday. So yeah, it is what it is, folks. We got a W. Our quarterback's getting comfortable, and he's showing flashes of what he can do. Mingo had a good game. Thielen's still balling the hell out. It's great to see. It's great to see. And this again, folks, is without a healthy starting offense. We don't have the same starters on O-line as obviously as week one, like we wanted to. But especially on defense. Houston was putting up points, folks. I mean, we did a number on them. It's good to see. We're tackling a little bit better. We're still diving at ankles, but we're tackling a little bit better. But yeah. So we're gonna take on the Colts next week, and unfortunately we won't see AR, but we might see a W. Ha! Hey, yo, enjoy this week, man. We got a first dub. We got some momentum. We got a quarterback, and that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Panther fans, y'all be good, and as always, keep Panther.
Get your comms up. The Panther Comms Podcast with Timmy the O.